life, when you have people who are supporting your achievements, there's nothing like it, yeah? But you guys are a special cohort. So first of all, another round of applause for yourselves, yeah? And I was thinking of what do I tell you, because you've learned everything. So I'm like, what do you tell people who have learned everything about money now? Yeah, but the learning never stops. So let me first go to who I am. Ruby said I'm the founder of Centonomy, yes, author and all that. But really, I think I'm a student of life. Life continues to throw me curveballs that make me take a step back, reflect, and try and understand what the lesson is. Has anybody here been thrown curveballs in life? So never get caught up in the curveball, yeah? Always ask what is actually the lesson. And along those curveballs were a lot of financial mistakes, a lot of business mistakes. And I think God just decided that my message, as I continue to make them, will be a message, yeah? So thank you so much that for sitting in class for 12 weeks and learning from different people who their message became message, and taking the seed that I planted in the content that was delivered to you. Just understand it all came from message. So if you've been in a mess, you're in good company. So if you're waiting, gosh, Waceke is going to come and tell us how perfect she's been with money. No, that is not why Centonomy exists, yeah? Centonomy exists really because of you, because of the people like you who have chosen to be more conscious than other people. So you're in a privileged club. So 45, you have our 45th season in 16 years, yeah? So you have decided to be the people who don't just drift through life with money. By the way, there's a responsibility that now sits on you. When you go out there and tell people you're a Centonomy graduate, you can't just be like everybody else, yeah? Because you have decided not to just drift along with money, but actually to master it. And you're part of a growing community of Centonomy that is saying, you know what? This thing called wealth creation, we're going to demystify it. This thing called wealth creation, it's for me. Yeah? This thing called wealth creation, we're going to stop thinking that it is for a special group of people. Now, I say this, Centonomy 16 years, this particular class, over 10,000 people have done Centonomy 101. Centonomy through various forms, whether it's with the organizations we work with, our other courses, Centonomy Entrepreneur programs for the kids. And thank you for those who brought kids. They are playing, but let me tell you, subconsciously something is going to stick in them, yeah? Because we are here because of generational wealth must be created. What you've learned is for them, and to empower them to also do better for the next generation. Because I think also as Africans, don't we have to stop starting from scratch with every generation? Yeah, what we are made to do is start from scratch, yeah? And we're told the stories, you know, for me, I went to school, I had no shoes. Yeah, that's great, yeah? But we can't keep making every generation that to be their story. Let's be happy our kids have shoes, and you have shoes as well, yeah? So, people never pause to ask, what is my relationship with money? People always ask, why am I not being paid enough? What is the government doing X, Y, Z, right? I'm not saying we live in a perfect world, but people never pause to ask the questions that are harder to ask, which is, what have I been doing with money? Where have I been taking money? How have I been thinking about money? What in my conditioning, in my belief system about money and investments has actually stopped? Because let me tell you something, there's no financial wellness without financial self-awareness. So if you're thinking that money is coming from somewhere, it doesn't matter if today I give you 1,000,000 shillings if your habits have not changed. So we are more vested in Centonomy in you changing your habits, changing your mindsets, changing your beliefs, because then will come things that are different because you actually think differently. And this moment today matters because you need to go out and do it. You've just run implementation exercises because it's not just about having knowledge. It's about taking action. No, wherever you are, big actions, small actions, because we never change anything because of knowledge. Remember that, yeah? We never change anything because of knowing. And let me tell you how I know that. Before I started Centonomy, I was an investment banker. I did stocks. I did pension funds. But trust me, when I left my job, what did I have to my name? Nothing. So I had the knowledge. So why do you think, what is that gap between knowledge and action? What stops us? Fear, yeah? What other people think. But you're right, a lot of it stems from fear. So you know what I had to do? As I said, God made my message into message. He decided with that fear you're sitting with, you calling yourself broke, go and start teaching other people about money. When I got the call, I was like, God, that you've knocked on the wrong door, surely. Because at that point, I was in a place where even fuel in the car is a problem. When I started seeing people, Centonomy started with one-on-one. And I remember my first client, because I didn't have money, calculating, does E in this car mean 3 kilometers? You know how you push your car sometimes? You're like, it's on E, but it can go. There's like a distance it can go. That's what I was calculating. So I was like, I used to come to the ATM, and I remember the ATM was right here at ABC Place, and I tried to withdraw money, and the ATM laughed at me for trying to withdraw. Ha 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 ha. Minimum withdrawal is 500, meaning I didn't have 500 bob. Yet, I got the call to empower people about money. Do you see the irony? Yeah? But fear, of course you will feel afraid. Did I feel inadequate? That's imposter syndrome like there's no other. Yeah? I felt so inadequate, so ill-prepared, but I just decided to take one step at a time and do it. And that one step at a time, one client at a time, understanding what they want, putting things together, starting to put a team together, starting to put our trainers together, has now been 16 years of impact. So that's my story for you of today. And that story can be translated in so many ways. Yeah? People have created wealth, and wealth means different things to different people. One of my definitions of wealth is traveling. Yeah? That if I have money, it should enable me to travel without coming back to get stressed. You know, there's travel where you can travel, and then you come back to, when you land at JKIA, what are you feeling? Like the world is going to collapse, yeah? But no, I've traveled through the same principle of small amounts of money over time. I have traveled. I'm proud to say I have traveled the world, yeah? I'm proud to say that now the ATM doesn't laugh at me so much because I plan differently, not because that there's more money all the time. Yeah, I'm proud to say that even if the world stopped, I could probably survive 3 to 5 years until I figure something out. So my definitions of wealth are different over time because they're not really, we have to move away from what our society told us wealth is. The cars, land, the house you live in, the school you're taking your kids to, how you show up. But now that you're a Centonomy, one privileged alumni, what have you learned wealth is? Balance, yes. I love this cohort. Peace, yeah. Freedom, yeah. Security, yeah. Meaning your salary can stop, your business can stop, but you have 3 months, 6 months. If you have that, you know you're wealthier than most people. Someone can be driving the Range Rover or the one that has been released today, but their salary stops or their business income stops. They cannot sustain it. So that's not wealth, that's just image. Yeah, and those things are not bad. If you want a nice car, by all means, go for it. But go for it in a way that does not compromise your peace. A lot of people have Range Rovers parked outside, but they're not sleeping at night. Yeah? So does not compromise your sense of security, does not compromise the things that actually have value to you. Because in my book, Making Sense, for those of you who have read it, I've written, money is a tool for the life you have, but it is not the life itself. So the things you are now able to define for you, that's wealth. So if you continue taking action, please, we're not saying you know everything, yeah? And we'll tell you why we're going to continue working together with you. But this momentum builds clarity about you because it is a new relationship that you now have with money. And when does this relationship end? the day you transition, yeah, into the next world. And maybe there even will be, maybe heaven even will be met with money. We don't know. Yeah, so maybe it's for eternity. You never know. Yeah, so welcome to the alumni community of Centonomy. Welcome. And this is a special time for us because we know your transformation doesn't end here. We know that you want to stay connected. We know, did you find the circles you are in created some sort of accountability on the spot? Yeah, we know that is important. Yeah, so keep posted because in the next week we will be officially launching our alumni privilege proposition because you are privileged to us, yeah, which will be some benefits and some masterclasses, some experiences, yeah. I just want you to over the week wonder in a week's time what is Centonomy going to tell us that are only for people who have completed the Centonomy 101 and the Centonomy Entrepreneur Program. Not for anybody else. You can come and beg to be in, you can throw 1 million shillings at us, but unless you have entered Centonomy 101 and completed it like you do, you are not going to be part of this exclusive community, yeah? So please look out because we want you now to be wealth builders for the next generation, yeah? And while you are doing that, yeah, and while you are doing that, you are also enjoying life according to your standard. So that is what we want from you in Centonomy. So you are wealth creators, yeah, and may from this moment on, may your life, your mindset reflect the abundance that you have been taught to live by. So I say a special blessing over all of you. May God continue making you multipliers because this continent needs you. Thank you very much. Cohort 45, congratulations.